very different man. Of course, you know, an extraordinary artist director. And, even though when I got the call, I thought I was going to see Stanley Kramer. However, let's just pass right over that. Kubrick, you know, by the time I met him, his major movies, from Paths of Glory, Spartacus, Lolita, Strangelove, 2001, Clockwork Orange. So it was batting like, I don't know what you call it.
Men very little.
Yeah. Well, we stopped the Clockwork Orange because I didn't have any further history of it. Look, Barry Lyndon is an amazing,
we won't talk about
amazing sleeping pill to me. It's like, but it's beautiful to look at. What really makes me laugh about Barry Lyndon is, you know, Stanley was all into the one-source lighting, and so he had all this candelabra and all these real, you know, lenses that were used by NASA and all the rest of it. And so you'll see the actors, it's hilarious, with great big candelabras on the floor, and the actors are playing like this to get some light in their eyes. You know? I mean, it's so realistic. Anyway,
Clockwork Orange.
Yes, well, Stanley, you know, what can I say about Kubrick? He's an amazing intellect, of course. He was a prodigy, a child prodigy, Jewish parents, of course, from the Bronx. And there are photographs or film of him playing the piano at 10, and it still looks like a 50-year-old man. And you know, you could see this precocious, extraordinary talent. And that was Stanley. You know, he started off at 16 years of age as a stills cameraman. And got the front of Look magazine, which was the biggest magazine in the country at the time. I think it was the Declaration of Peace. And he, I think, and he told me this, actually at 16, you'd think it was caught in a moment with this newsboy holding up the thing with the newspapers and all that on a busy street, but Stanley had set up the whole thing. And of course. And he was a complete and utter control freak. Interestingly enough, the one area where, of course, he couldn't control was the actors. And it drove him nuts! Because he had theories. He had theories that were so stupid. You know, he'd say to me now, there's a wonderful actor who plays the writer in the movie called Pat McGee. And Patrick McGee was an extremely accomplished leading man of the British theatre, an Irish actor of some great renown. And Stanley was worried that Pat, who, you know, liked his Guinness, he was a little bit worried that he couldn't remember his lines. And I said, Stanley, has he ever not delivered? He went, no, he's got a big scene tomorrow. You know, Mal, do you think it'd be okay if I sent the script lady to his place tonight just to go through the lines with him? I went, oh God, Stanley, do not do that. Do not suggest it. He won't be there. He went, well, where will he be? I went, he'll be in the pub. He went, learning his lines. But of course, he was brilliant when he came. He was right on it every time. And then Pat McGee would come to me and he'd go, Jesus Christ, that Kubrick, what the hell is that? Jesus, man, that's not one fucking drink. There's no Guinness here at all. He's a bit freaked. What's he so freaked out about? Jesus, man, I mean, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to drink. I mean, how am I supposed to do this? So I'd go to Stanley and I'd go, Stanley, I have a bit of a problem, you know. Pat would like to have a Guinness with his manager. I mean, he goes, 1 Guinness. Whatever. So he got the prop man to go get a couple of cases of this stuff. So we're working away, everything's going great, and a week later, Stanley calls me over and he goes, I bought 2 cases of Guinness for the props. I went, yeah. He goes, they've all gone. I said, well, it's been a week. It's been a week, that's 48 bottles. I went, oh, Stanley, he probably had friends over. Anyway, he never missed a beat, and he was fantastic. He did say to me, do you like this guy directing? Well, I mean, do you understand what he's saying? I said, well, he's not great with actors. He goes, geez, I'm there and I'm doing so much, I feel like I'm taking a dump. I said, well, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. But I'll tell you, I did ask him before we started shooting, I said, Stanley, how do you direct? What's your kind of thing? I mean, I know Vincey Anderson, and he goes, well, I don't know. He goes, I don't know what I want, but I do know what I don't want. And that was absolutely true. So you could be working on a sequence. I mean, one time we worked on a sequence for 5 days without turning the camera because there was nothing to shoot, you know. And he knew that, so let's try and find a way to do it. And until we found it, the camera was just still and silent.
If you remember, like Singing in the Rain.
That was the sequence.
That's the sequence you're talking about, yes.
That is the sequence. It's a famous sequence now, or infamous. But after 5 days, he came to me and said, can you dance? And I was so bored, I went, can I dance? Of course I can't dance. I went, hey, I'm singing in the rain. And improvised the whole thing.
That's what it looks like.
And he's like, Stanley pulled me off, shoved me in the car, drove back to his house, bought the rights, $10,000. We went back and shot it, took a week to shoot. And I kept saying, anybody remember what I did next? We shot the whole thing. And then, you know, a year later, of course, I come to Hollywood and I'm invited to a party, and the minder from Warner Brothers said, do you want to meet Gene's here? Do you want to meet him? Yeah, I'd love to. Please.
A dance-off, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to meet Gene Kelly. I mean, oh my God, one of our heroes, you know. And he had his back to me, and the guy went and tapped him on the shoulder. He said, Gene, I'd like you to meet Malcolm McDowell. Oh. He turned around, looked me in the eye, turned around and walked right away. Oh my God. And the guy started to apologize to the minder. And I went, that's okay. I don't blame him one little bit. I ruined his moment.
So let's get another